So why flex and paint? Many of the recent endeavors in my life and my focus on social media are about the intersection of exercise and art. And it's not immediately clear why there's an important overlap. What do these two things have to do with each other? I want to start with a story. Back when I was living in San Francisco, I would regularly paint with the window open as to not breathe a bunch of paint fumes and things like that. And I didn't want to run the heat because that felt wasteful. So I decided that I would exercise at the same time that I was painting. I found that the physical flow of working out kept me out of the headspace where I would have any thoughts. And I think that this is the flow state that you need to achieve when you are acting creatively. When you're painting, you are purely inhabiting your body. And I found that both of these two things were repetition based and they exhibit long-term growth. When I first started painting, I was just smacking paint around, totally naively, not knowing what I was doing. But I found that the more that I did it, I started to understand all of these nuances about how paint would apply on other paint and how to mix certain colors. And only due to these constant repetitions was I getting better. But the most important aspect for me is the increase in body awareness. And I try to take this with me in any of my creative or physical endeavors because I think body awareness builds a foundation for your muscle growth and for your fitness, as well as for your art practice, whether that be ceramics or oil painting or any other creative hobby that you have. I personally think that flex and paint is really fun because not only are you using physical momentum, but you're also carrying that into an artistic momentum, enabling you to stay in that flow state for longer and develop a skill in two domains that you wouldn't have thought would overlap, but they do. This body awareness has brought me a lot of value in that not only can I regulate my emotions better in and outside of the gym, but I'm also able to trust my gut to understand if I am on the right track in an artistic sense. If I'm painting at the easel and my body tells me, no, that's not a good idea, or yeah, you should pursue that, I usually listen to it. I recently had someone ask me how to get over the fear of painting something wrong. And I think that body awareness is the key to this in both art and fitness. If you're connecting with your body and you're exercising your mechanical right to move and feel your body, you can't be doing anything wrong. You are living in the moment, and that is all that you need to have a healthy practice. Not only this, but we're building our discipline into understanding that we have to adhere to delayed gratification. For both art and fitness, you need to understand that by doing one push-up or laying one brush stroke, you're not going to immediately reap the benefits. However, due to the long-term growth that you will have from both of these practices, you will come out of this with a tangible result, whether that's a body that you've been craving or an art style that you wanted to explore. You'll learn something new, and you focused on a hobby that is production-based rather than consumption-based. And I think that that is the crux of adding satisfaction and meaning to your life. Most people want to build stuff and they want to connect with themselves and their community. I find what better way than to learn how to exercise and build my own body, raise my own frequency, and make art that I can share with my community. I get that it's really hard to stay in the practice of mindfulness and meditation, and that's why I think using any of these hobbies or however you'd like to apply this practice is beneficial for your own mental state because it's sort of an active meditation. You're connecting with your body and you're being able to live in this sort of negative space, which allows you to pay deliberate attention to how you feel. I attribute all of my success to this ability to pay attention to how I feel, not only while I'm painting and reading my gut to say, do I think I'm going in the right direction with this painting, but also when I'm working out. Am I listening to how I feel in terms of if I have a muscle imbalance? Am I satisfied with my own cardiovascular health? Would I like to have less pain in my elbow or my knee or something like that? Any of these things stem from you being aware of how you feel. That brings me back to the objectives and the outcomes of this course. I want to share with you the routines and the strategies that I've used in both my physical and my artistic practice, leveraging some key fitness principles and programs, as well as some mindset strategies and philosophical practices that I found for success. If you're interested in learning more, comment Flex and Paint and I'll send you my guide to unleash your creativity, build body awareness, and get you far on your fitness journey.